I've been doing this for 4 fucking years. If you didn't fucking get it by now, get the fuck out of here.
Off to the rest of your spastics and tell them you can do nothing. Yeah, you can, you stuttery. Yes, spastics, fuck off, go away. Help him
Your stupid globe, and I know you'll never look like your friends.
fuck off back to your spastic retard.
Yeah, whatever, Nathan. You're a genius.
That's my fucking argument and demonstration of being a spastic.
Demeaning our argument with statements like, you can do fuck all with an angle.
What can you do with an angle?
Shut up, bitch. Shut your fucking... Nobody was talking.
You shut the fuck up, Nathan.
I'll remove you if you don't shut up while I talk to Beth.
I will do what the fuck I like. There's giving talk. You say to the North, fuck all with an angle, and then mention me in that. You are personally in talk. Therefore, I'm going to take a strip on you based on your ignorance of that angle. That's what I'm going to do. Or you stuff it. Okay? So that would be doing something with an angle, wouldn't it then? Yeah, it would, you stupid fucking retard. So our problem isn't with you personally, it's with you being stupid. Not understanding that you can do something with an angle. An elevation angle measure can find your position on the flat plane. But 6, you don't understand this and you're attempting to demean our argument. Statements of stupidity, like you can do fuck all with an angle. You can do lots with an angle unless you're a fucking retard, like you. You can measure your position on Earth by way of elevation angles. That is doing something with an angle. Zero comprehension of the argument that we put across. Our responses to his claim.
Right, Bev, you can measure and find your position on the flat plane with an elevation angle.
Talk about your 2D surface.
It's called Adam Flat Earth Society.
You ain't got no purpose in life.
So pathetic. Fuckwits, you told you not explain the argument. The spastics I'm telling you to go back to. Did they not comprehend the argument and put it across to you? You're surrounded by fucking retards then. Clearly, we have an argument. I'm giving it to you now.
Learn the fucking scientific method or get the fuck out of here.
I'm not surprised. Look at, listen to you lot. You're fucking mental over a simple geometric fact. You've got a third of a triangle, yet you're doing magic with it.
Adam, you're Flat Earth Society, mate.
It's called Adam Flat Earth Society.
Call QE always or wanker all you like, yeah?
Okay, while Bev's here, I just want to say, if you're subscribed to Bev, fuck off! Because he's going to make you stupid, like he's making all of us stupid. Unsubscribe to him immediately. Definitely don't give him any money. Because the guy's a fucking retard. He's going to make you more stupid, and he's going to either be conveying his stupidity to you to soak up,
Adam,
or he's
you're
going to
Flat
lie
Earth
to you.
Society.
Either way, he's poison.
Flat Earth endorsement. Thank you very much, Nathan.
I'll tell my audience, so fuck off! Subscribe from you and never give you any money.
I'll tell you your audience. And we are live. Welcome everyone. It's Free for All Friday. I thought I'd start off with that one because we're going to be having a little go over with Nathan and see, like, he's slightly bipolar or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell when, you know, people take on these contradictions, particularly. And he's forced to be... Well, you just heard. I mean, it's not the first time he's ever been like that. I've got a couple of those sort of things. So...
Good afternoon.
Good, yeah, it's a good day, Rob. We have been... I don't know. Talking... We've been doing a lot of gaming recently. Right? If anybody wants to come and escape from all of the normality and just, you know, get into a different place where we sort of have fair play within their games. Slightly different in the real world. Everything's stacked against us. Yeah, sorry, Rob. Go on.
No, I was just chiming in saying that we just sit over here and converse with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got a few things I'd like to go over. Mainly, well, do you want to hear the first one? This is a video from. I'll have to stop. Stop me stream and go on to this one for the Discord guys. How do I get this up? And screen. This is from today. This is Nathan Oakley from today. You've just heard the intro, so you know Nathan Oakley and what he thinks of us. This is from a bit earlier today.
It isn't, but that's what they mean. They just don't say Earth curve. They say horizon. Like, obviously, the horizon's the edge of Earth. Blocking your view in that.
Yeah. Obviously, the horizon's the edge of Earth. I mean, ridiculous, but Nathan Oakley said it. And I think he's making other people that have said that. So this is one of those cases where somebody says something stupid, but then attributes it to other people. So Nathan Oakley can get away with saying something stupid, but hand it off to somebody else. It's a long tactic, a long used tactic, but here we go.
They tend to, it's our curve, but it's not physical our curve. That's since January 1st, 2020.
It doesn't look curved, does it? The horizon never looks curved to me. It looks quite level.
It's defining a physical geometric principle. That would be horizontal.
Geometric principle. Defining a geometric principle. Can you remember when Nathan Oakley used to say that it's not geometric? And we had to go over there and tell Nathan Oakley that it is geometric because it's horizontal. The horizon is horizontal, therefore it is geometric. I think that was quite a bit ago when QE brought out this argument that he decided to call Black Swan. The Black Swan, actually. So, but continue.
Utilised physically in our world daily. Derived by being parallel with the plane of that specific thing, the horizon. It's where you get the word horizontal. Horizon.
Yeah. As Bev says, all horizontals are parallel to each other, and all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon.
He came in the chat the other day, and
Right, so just to correct Brian here, we have an argument here that says, using geometric principles, Euclidean propositions, that because all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, we can therefore derive geometrically that all horizontals are parallel to each other. Brian's not quite understood how the argument works from beginning to end, and when the propositions at the beginning come together, if P, then Q, right? That's how it works. So listen to what Brian says and how he's misunderstood.
Yeah. As Bev says, all horizontals are parallel to each other, and all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon.
he came in the chat.
Right? No. All horizontals are parallel to each other because all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. It's how you form an argument. Now Nathan Oakley is going to go on to a thing. QE was on the other day, and I was asking Brian about his grid that he kept talking about. And Nathan Oakley said, we give you a shout out today. And I went, brilliant. I don't see why I should be getting a shout out for anything. These are obvious facts, and the arguments speak for themselves. I mean, nobody needs a shout out for anything, particularly from a guy that's called me a spastic and told people to unsubscribe from me because we make people stupider. So why would Nathan Oakley be wanting to give us a shout out? It makes him... He diminishes his own argument if 1 month or 1 day he's telling his supporters that we're stupid and we don't know anything, and then the next day he's praising us. I mean, that's his supporters that are going to be left in confusion, not us. Like, we're all right as we are, so I don't know why Nathan's doing this, but continue.
That the other day, and I gave him props. Well, to be more accurate, I pointed out that you gave him props, and he couldn't quite understand what was going on. Like,
I couldn't quite understand what was going on. Like, you don't understand. No, Nathan. We was trying to talk to Brian about his grid system. That he seemed to be talking about circles with a grid. I just wanted him to clarify that. And then you started saying that you're giving me props for pointing out that the horizon's horizontal. Well, I don't think anybody needs praise for pointing out that the horizon's horizontal, as particularly as that's the reason QE disappeared. He left this server. Couldn't stick around anymore because we were doing just pointing out that level is horizontal. The horizon is horizontal, as known. But now Nathan's making up some fantasy thing that he thinks happened in some chat on a YouTube channel.
yeah, we're complimenting you, Bev. Your knowledge in this example is exemplary and correct. He's like, all right. He didn't quite know how to react. It's like, yeah, we don't just we're not just critical of things you do wrong. We will definitely praise you when you do something right.
Like a good little puppy dog.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, he can't understand the geometrical principles of you can do fuck all with an angle yet.
Oh, because then he'll come to you with 3 angles to find his position somewhere.
Well done for saying that the horizon's horizontal. I mean, come on. It was a rebuttal to what QE was saying. A rebuttal to Nathan saying that the horizon isn't geometric. Now it is geometric. What's he going on about? Is it Nathan Oakley bipolar or what?
And by the way, he should say subscribe back to Beth.
Yeah, sorry for telling everybody to not subscribe to you because, you know, your geometric principles and the arguments that you make. No, he gets upset. He said that the statement we were making was undermining his argument. Undermining the statement that they were making. When we make geometric statements in reality, Nathan Oakley gets upset. Tells everybody to unsubscribe. And then has this little flip where he decides that he's praising us all of a sudden. Well, it doesn't work, Nathan. Like, literally. That sort of behaviour is ridiculous. And I'm not surprised people are confused by what you're going on about.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
This plane of reference is not the Earth. So stop saying that the Earth is flat. If you're referencing everything to a plane of reference that is flat.
Yes, and that's why I created my syllogism for Nathan Oakley. If Earth is flat and plane is flat, therefore plane is Earth. which is ridiculous. This is absurdal conclusion from absurdal premises. That's why, of course, Earth is not a plane. So it means that saying that Earth is flat and even saying that plane is flat is nonsense in syllogism. Because, of course, we know that plane is flat, but saying that and using that description of a plane as being flat can be used to make fallacious, let's say, statements.
Yeah, like saying I got a round circle.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, it is true, but if someone is saying that, it means that you can create, with that description, you can create fallacious arguments, because, of course, circle is round, but ball also is round. So it means that if ball is round and circle is round, it means that ball is a circle. That's why you cannot use that kind of descriptions as terminus medius, middle term, because it is just nonsense. You are creating nonsense by using that description. That's my point. So don't say flat plane.
Well, they do, don't they? And you know, that's the half of what Nathan Oakley keeps going on about. His pushing this flat plane, frantic bunny ears, is flat Earth work. That's the Flat Earth Society. That's how they do their business. Can we just finish this bit here? It won't take long. He's not gonna.
No. Well, listen to what Paper said. He actually he corresponded both what they're saying and what they're meaning. And if you have a look at what Oakley said at the beginning of your program, listen to exactly what he said. And he was saying that the Earth was a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's actually already putting that in everybody's mind, saying, no. Who said that the Earth was a plane? Nobody said that, but Oakley's actually putting that into everybody's mind and trying to.
Yeah, if you take on this badge or cape or whatever you want to wear of flat Earth, you have to recognize there are leaders, and these leaders of yours, if you're a flat earther, are going to go out there and represent you in front of everyone publicly. Nathan Oakley's one of these people that will speak on your behalf. He's a flat earther. He's going to speak the flat earth mantra. Now, QE also, and QE and Nathan and Flatsoid, these group of people, they're going to berate people if they're not using the correct flat earth terminology, arguments, doctrine, whatever, right? So these are the leaders. Now, Nathan Oakley, as you've heard, will both demolish people for being whatever, and also at the same time try and praise them for doing something that he once used to ridicule us for. And that's all of them. Don't think that there's any difference. We've been doing the same thing. We've just been trying to explain to people about straight lines and these general facts in reality. Now, it turns out that the horizon being horizontal proves that all horizontals are parallel, but all horizontals are parallel means there's a vertical measurement between these horizontal planes, as known as elevation change, which makes the Earth not flat. You can't use something that proves the Earth's not flat to prove that the Earth is flat. It's contradictory. Yeah, here we are.
Well, yeah, Paper said it right. It's like with the circle and the ball. They're contradiction, or they're using two different objects or two different arguments, but meaning the same thing. You can't do it.
Well, we've been dealing with people who obfuscate all sorts of stuff. I think we've got one in the chat at the minute, Toady. I always remember Toady from when Ranty, when Ranty split off, he had that argument with QE about light buckyballs. That QE forced. He said he wouldn't give that information up. Well, when he started a channel up, he started like a fair debate type thing. Sleeping Warrior had a few debates over there with Toady. So Toady and Sleeping Warrior, probably good friends from way back, a few years ago. And now Toady's come into the chat, and what's this he says? That's why syllogisms, brackets, fallacious philosophic arguments are wrong. Toady actually thinks a syllogism is a fallacious philosophic argument. Imagine that.
Syllogism is a form of argument, and you can put fallacies inside of syllogism. Yes, but it doesn't mean that syllogism itself is fallacious. It means that you can put, for example, false premises, which looks like true premises, but they are not. And then you land in conclusion, which is, for example, absurda.
I think the point here, though, is that for certain people that are anti-logos, then all syllogisms, even the truthful ones, are fallacious.
Have to be.
Yes, I agree, but he's just mistaken.
Well, I know. Well, he's not mistaken. I think he's just a troll, it appears to me. But nonetheless, you're being more generous than I would be, Paper, but that you are more generous than me.
Okay, but yes, I give benefit of doubt.
You do, yes.
But still, syllogism is form of argument. Because if it is not, it means that people cannot think, because we are thinking and we are proving things by means of syllogism. So,
but what's his end goal? Does he actually want to get to a conclusion, or does he just want to carry on the argument?
No, conclusion is statement, and you can say that this conclusion as a statement is true because it is proven by syllogism.
Yeah, but conclusion means you've actually argued the point to the nth degree, so therefore
No,
Okay,
you're missing the form of a syllogism. It's very, very, very simple.
Yes, we have two premises, and they have to be constructed in certain way. I will give this simple example of Aristotle's example. All men are mortal. This is first premise. Second premise, Socrates is a man. So this is second premise. So in first premise, subject is men. This is general statement or a categorical statement. All men. So this is subject. Predication would be mortal. So in first sentence, we have subject man, and we are predicating on all men that they are mortal. In second premise, we have subject man. So man is within collection of men. So it is lesser premise, greater premise, or major premise. As first, because it is general statement or categorical statement. And the second subject in second premise is already inside of this categorical statement. So in the second premise, which is Socrates is a man, we have man as a subject, and we are, Socrates, Socrates is subject, and we are predicating that he is a man. Sorry for mistake. So the subject Socrates, man is predication. So we have link between first premise and second premise, because we have man in first premise and man, which is one of them, in second. So it is a link. So we have a link between predication and subject in first premise. And that's what, so if we are creating conclusion, therefore Socrates is mortal. This is conclusion. So we are taking from second premise Socrates subject, and from first premise we have man and mortal, being mortal. So we are let's say we are throwing out this man because it is not needed. Middle term is man or man. So we don't need it anymore, and we can connect subject from second premise, which is Socrates, and predication from first premise, which is mortal, and we can say that Socrates is mortal. This is conclusion via syllogism. And this conclusion is inevitably true. If first premise and second premise is true, it has to be true. This conclusion has to be true. You cannot say that it may be true or not. It depends. No, you cannot say that. If premises are true, this premise, Socrates is mortal, has to be true. Therefore, you have proof that your conclusion is true. Not only it seems to be true, it is sound, or something like that. No, it is just true. It has to be true. Not by accident. It has to be true. That's the power of syllogism.
Yeah, do you like mine?
Sure.
All horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. The horizon is horizontal. Therefore, all horizontals are parallel to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of a modern day, more relevant one for this arena. Just a geometric one for you.
Yes, and you can create conditional from that, by adding if, and if, therefore, conclusion. That would be just compound conditional statement, which is in fact syllogism. 3 sentences in one, with conclusion at the end.
I do like Toadie's moaning about the use of all. Well, I do that, Toadie, to give you a chance of understanding what a black swan is. So, like, you just need one. Just show us one. One horizontal that is not either parallel to the plane of the horizon or parallel to another horizontal. It's dead easy. Just one. Show us it. And you can falsify that statement, make it fallacious by providing the black swan. Simples. Off you go, Toadie.
He said, you already said all horizontals are parallel twice. So
where? We said that all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon.
Yes, so they are parallel, but to plane of the horizon. This is premise.
The horizon is horizontal, so therefore you can say you can do away with the horizon out of that statement, because that's the common factor. Within the syllogism, do away with it. You can therefore make the conclusion all horizontals are parallel to each other.
Yeah.
It's very easy how to use logic and the simple syllogism. Anyway, let's get back into this. We'll go. I like the conversation though.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting that. I think he's expecting an argument all the time. Yeah, I don't think he realizes that we actually do recognize the work he does.
He thinks I'm after an argument all the time. That'd be strange, wouldn't it? Like, we're the ones making the arguments. We've noticed that nobody else has any arguments. I think Brian's logic has slipped away from what an actual argument is, and his logic isn't really. I think he's one of these people that uses the words within the name in order to portray an image.
And by the way, I think Brian's logic is right. Yes, we are after argument, because if someone is saying that he is going to prove something, so I am all ears. I am looking for argument. Let's hear the argument. Because without argument, you cannot prove anything. So yes,
this is because Nathan's complimenting me, though, for pointing out that, well, I don't know, all horizontals are parallel. The horizon's horizontal. All horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. These statements sort of go together, but you can form them, as we've said, into a syllogism.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Remember, I said next year they're going to say level is horizontal, and that will be their main goal.
Yeah.
Next year.
Well, I think they've outdone themselves by saying that anything you need, really, you're going to need a flat Earth, right? It's ridiculous, the lengths that they've gone to continue the bullshit. But I mean,
can I correct that statement too?
What?
You're gonna need a plane of reference for that, not a flat Earth.
That's not what they say, though. You do know, right?
I know, but that's what they need to be saying is you're gonna need a plane of reference for that.
They can't, though, Rob. They're too tied to flat.
No, they will.
I know.
They will, because this is going to be the year of the plane of the reference, right? That's what Nathan's planning on doing. But that doesn't prove the flat Earth. But so that's why Nathan has to push that you're going to need a flat Earth for that, because that's all he's got. He's got no argument. He's got no nothing. He's even been as desperate as to try and grab an argument that we made ages ago in rebuttal to QE and his ridiculous modus tollens that he called the Black Swan. He chose to show people a picture rather than go with the argument that Nathan Oakley's now trying to give us praise for. As if anybody needs praise for it, especially off Nathan Oakley. And look, in the chat, strangely enough, you've got Toady and Ed Freeze sticking up for Nathan Oakley.
And by the way, I have because he said Toady, but not on that he is not agreeing as I think not on the horizon. So he is agreeing about syllogism, but not on the horizon.
Yeah, they can't go with the actual argument. Syllogism. They have to falsify the syllogism for Nathan Oakley.
So, but my question for Toady is, what is his problem with the horizon? Because we have plane of the horizon. So
it's because they think we're flat earthers and we're working for Nathan Oakley. That's why they're pushing back. Either that or, I don't know. They actually have a problem with the horizon being horizontal. Now, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because horizontal is adjective created from a noun, and noun is horizon, so adjective to horizon is horizontal. So what's the problem? But still, he has problem with horizon, and I am just asking, what is his problem with horizon?
Ed Freeze is in there as well. What's your problem, Ed and Toady? we've made a simple syllogism, which is, it sort of mimics the one that paper said with Aristotle. It was an all men are mortal type statement. All horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. Simple statement that you can then work from. What's the problem? Name the problem, guys, and let's have a discussion. Come on into the Discord if somebody's got a problem with the horizon being horizontal, or the plane of the horizon being horizontal, or horizontals being parallel to each other. I mean, I can't see what the problem is.
Right, Toady says that horizon is a hard to measure phenomenon.
That's horizontal.
I would say this is not phenomenon, because this is what we see. Horizon is as depiction, and from Greek, this is limit of our vision. And so if we are talking about, let's say, water, so this is where plane is going to end, because in our vision only, and it becomes a line, because it is just perspective. So the distances between things on that plane are closer and closer to each other, and at the end, and this end is a place where sky is meeting this line. This is limit of our vision, what we can see on that plane, or yes, on that water, whatever. And so plane becomes line in perspective. So of course I am talking about plane, but of course water is not perfect plane, etc. I am not arguing with that. But still it creates straight line. That's why we can say it is plane of the horizon. If horizon wasn't straight line, we couldn't say that this is a plane, because you cannot have a plane with curved horizon. Simple.
Phenomena.
It is not phenomenon. Phenomenon is something occurring. So, for example, you can say that sun is shining. So that would be phenomenon, this shining, something happening, or moving, walking.
Yeah, he said phenomena, didn't he, with an A?
This is plural.
Yeah.
Plural. Phenomena is plural.
It says here that
singular.
Singular use as the plural phenomenas. Evidence shows that the singular phenomena is primarily a speech form used by poets, critics, and professors, amongst others. But that one sometimes turns up in edited prose. So, is that how you're speaking of it? As a poetically, the horizon being a phenomena? Just something that's seen, right? That, in its general sense, not there's nothing mysterious about the horizon.
Yes, but it is still. I still argue it is not phenomenon or phenomena, whatever. Phenomenon is something else. This is.
That's what I'm pointing out. He's just using it poetically, right? You know, in a term of endearment type thing. He doesn't really mean it as an argument that it is actually a phenomena, because I mean it doesn't what does that mean? And is it any type of part of an argument or anything? I mean, we're talking about the horizon being horizontal here. It's not difficult or anything. It's a simple statement.
Yes, horizon is just a line. We are looking at the water, let's say at the sea, without any magnification, any zoom, just with naked eye, or without zoom through camera, and we can see a line between sky and water. This is a line. and this line is straight. That's why we have plane of the horizon.
It's weird
Simple.
that these people have decided to come back. Well, like, you do, guys, you do know that the Earth's not flat, right? Ed, Toady, there's no need to defend any of this. Like, we're just pointing out that, you know, you can measure elevation changes from a horizontal. It doesn't make the Earth flat, so don't worry about it. This is just what's known as knowledge and how people perceive things. The horizon's obviously horizontal. And you can say that all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. Therefore, we can derive parallel horizontals from that. I mean, everybody knows that horizontals are all parallel. Right? It's a known thing. It's not as if we're teaching anybody anything new, just the form of the argument, how to place things together.
Yes, and he's using this, I would say, Toady, because he said that horizon is experienced, and then he's saying that it appears to be a line. This is not experience. Line is not experience. Be careful which word you are using. We see things, and things in motion are phenomena. Or one thing in motion is phenomena. So phenomenon is linked always to a change. If you can see change, whatever it is, you can say it is phenomenon. But if you see thing, you cannot say it is phenomenon. It is you just see thing, and this thing that we can see is a line of the horizon, straight line of the horizon. We see thing, not phenomenon.
Yeah, and it doesn't make the Earth
not
flat,
saying that, though.
Toady. So, you know, you're not going to convince us that that flat has got anything to do with this. We're talking about horizontals being parallel to the plane of the horizon. Nothing to do with flat.
Yeah, but Oakley's he's just put another one there. He actually come out and he said horizontal is the plane of Earth.
This is nonsense.
Yeah,
It's horizontal to Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so he's putting another thing in there. You know, so he's actually started another argument.
Yeah, with another thing that would also need to be defined, right? Because in the syllogism that paper said from Aristotle, men, mortal, that's, you know, they are easily defined. If you don't understand what they mean, then what's the use of the syllogism? And with my one, horizontals, horizon, parallel.
Yep, that's got nothing to do with Earth, has it?
Nothing.
But
it's not within the argument, right? And you can't prove anything that isn't within the argument.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you say, in order for Nathan to be bringing Earth in, it would be good to hear the argument that involves Earth, which I doubt there will be any.
I created one with Earth. But we land in conclusion that Earth is a plane. So we can judge, is this conclusion, if it does make sense or not. For me,
but wait, Bev has a claim about the Earth after the Black Swan came out. Bev made it better.
We were going over that. You can make two arguments about the Earth. Neither of them are a positive proof, which we're talking about here, a syllogism. That this is proof positive, as heard by the terms all within these statements. It's all encompassing. There's no part that can be without it because it involves the term all. Those arguments are modus tollens. They're just falsification. These are different arguments. These are positive arguments.
Yes, that's why I created this syllogism. If plane is flat, so plane is subject and flat is predication, and second premise would be Earth is flat. So we have predication, common predication. So it's kind of tautological, but it is still true. So the Earth is plane because we have common, this middle term is flat. So in first premise, we have plane flat. So flat is predication. In second premise, we have Earth flat, same predication. So we are throwing out this predication, and we can say that plane is Earth.
Okay, so when you say,
Okay.
So when you say Earth, that means the dirt and the water.
It does not mean orientation in the argument. All he's talking about is plane. You've got to take. You can only take what the argument entails.
Yeah, nothing more. You are not allowed to adding anything which is outside of the argument. I am just taking.
But Earth is in the argument. Is Earth a capital E with like both the land and the water?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because I am going with Nathan Oakley description, because I am using Nathan Oakley's descriptions.
Okay, understood.
So I am just taking what he said. He said flat plane. So I am using flat plane, whatever it means. And I am taking
Can I just
Earth.
point out here, because you've got somebody in the YouTube chat, just a minute. We've got somebody in the YouTube chat that's just obviously obfuscating all sorts of things. He said, right, I'll quote this. What does it say? Yes, dependent on the context, surface of Earth can be referenced to surface of water. So that person particularly wants to obfuscate that Earth is water. And he's using a little e. So that's how ridiculous certain people want to get within the context of this argument. We're talking about horizontals and planes here. People want to talk about level, flat. Well, flat's in Paper's argument. And it references to a plane.
Yeah.
People are just obfuscating.
So my goal with this syllogism is that you can create syllogism and you have conclusion, of course, but if that conclusion is nonsensical, and it is nonsensical, because Earth, whatever it is obviously not a plane. Therefore, it means that your premises, or at least one of them, was false or badly formulated. That's my point. To not create bad premises or bad
It's a good point.
So that was my point, and it is proven. So that's why I wouldn't say flat plane or flat Earth, because you land with not even contradiction, because this is just absurd, false statement, because we know that Earth, whatever it is, water, Earth, all together, it doesn't matter. It is not a plane. We know that.
I was just pointing out about how, as you're talking about a certain thing, somebody's in the chat obfuscating what you're saying.
Yeah.
And this is it's important to point out to people, right? Because if your eyes are visualizing something and you're hearing something else, then the brain can get mixed up in its inability to be able to comprehend two things that are both similar yet contradictory. We try and keep the contradictions down. I personally think stating that the earth is comparable to water is ridiculous. They're two different things. The elevation changes occur on the land, and the elevation changes occur with waves and tidal things on the water. They can both be described in their own way. You shouldn't obfuscate the two of them. Shouldn't do that. But there are people out there that are going to do that to you all the time.
Yes, and Toadi said that flat plane is a bad formulation. Yes, and we went through that many times. This because this is true statement. Plane is flat, but why we shouldn't say that it is flat? Because it is called solipsism. So solipsism is, let's say, stylistic or grammar error, where you are adding thing which is true, but you shouldn't do that. And my example, for example, would be that Mr. Smith is very much married. So if you say that this very much, you are adding very much, because you can say simply that Mr. Smith is married. But if you are adding very much to that, it means that you are trying to put something in the middle between married and not married. Because if he is very much, it means it's supposed that you can be married less than very much. You will be still married, but less. And obviously it is nonsense, because it is dichotomy. You are married or you are not. But adding descriptions like that, like very much, you are creating something in the middle. And this is where sophist is coming in with solipsism. The same thing is flat plane. It is true, but if you are saying flat plane, then I can just create, as I created this syllogism to prove that you shouldn't use that, because you can create nonsensical conclusions. So solipsism is the tool of sophist. That's why nobody, honest logician, let's say, shouldn't use that. That's why in logic you shouldn't use redundant statements or redundant descriptions, like a round circle, because we would have also round ball, and therefore ball is a circle. If we are using
I was waiting for that. Thank you, paper.
Yeah, this is the same thing. So this is redundant description, and this description is true, because it is true that circle is round, and it is true that ball is round. But this description cannot recognize between plane figure and solid object. So if this description applies to both, you cannot create argument which has to discern between the two. It does not specify. It is like genus and species. This is general description of all figures that are round. So both the solid objects and planar figures, like circle and ball. So it is just redundant. If it is redundant, just don't use it, because then sophist will come and come and make his shit. That's what I am very careful with the language and that kind of descriptions, because you can make sophistry of that redundant statement, which is called syllogism.
Yes, Toady, that's the whole basis of advanced simplicity. Everybody knows logic. How can you not know logic? In order for you to know anything, you have to employ logic. There's no way around it. All things known will be known through logic. So it's not for this person or that person or whatever. Everybody has to use logic. The problem is some people can't.
Some people don't like logic.
Mm-hmm.
They are called mythologists.
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of them, isn't there? A lot more than I used to believe in there was. But I don't believe that they're out there in general society, although I have noticed that a lot of people seem to become more combative in their conversational methods. But that may just be the subject. Maybe because I'm becoming a better philosopher, asking better questions, that people get more annoyed. I don't know. Don't know. It's come in and have a chat, Toady. I mean, it's pointless you're sitting in the text chat trolls. You just be considered text chat troll, because that seems like what you're doing.
Gnosis literally means cognition. And we people, we know through logic. But for example, if we take other spiritual beings like angels and God,
What
so
about like witches with crystal balls as well? Could you call that knowledge? Is that what Toadie's talking about? Like scrying and stuff like that.
I'm talking about Gnosis because we know things as human beings. We know through proof, and to create proof we use logic. This is how we know with our human nature. It doesn't exclude automatically other kind of knowledges, let's say, but that would be not through logic. That's why I brought, for example, other entities that supposedly know more than we, but they don't use logic, because our logic is from senses, basically, and if angels don't have senses, so they don't create syllogism to know something. So their acknowledging things are another way, much simpler. They just know. But of course, this is assumption. I don't force anything to believe in that. But this, what we say about our knowledge and our gnosis, this is only logic. We can't have other kind of knowledge. So if someone is invoking gnosis and like witchcraft or whatever, or astrology, etc., so automatically it means that he's talking about some spiritual knowledge or whatever. So he's seeing things, he's speaking with angels or whatever. So I don't use this word gnosis because it has already fixed meaning. That if you have gnosis, it means that you have higher knowledge than logic, than human being can have. I'm not talking about that, and I am not referring to that. I am only based on our knowledge, logic. That's all we have. And it is in our nature. So if we were sometime speaking about natural law, so our human natural law is reason. This is our nature. The highest part of our nature is reason, mind, not body, not flesh, not senses. Animals have senses also, but they cannot create syllogism from their experience. We can. That's the difference.
Rumpus is coming, and Toadie's saying he agrees with what you're saying, right? There's no need for Toadie to come in because he agrees
I didn't
with what
say
you're
that.
saying. Then
Yes.
Rumpus comes in and like blatantly lies about something, and I'm asking Toadie whether he agrees with what Rumpus is saying, because Toadie says he agrees with everything that you're saying. And then Rumpus comes in and says that you've said something that is blatantly untrue, right?
Yes, I didn't say that all arguments have to be syllogism. I didn't say that. For example, modus ponens and modus tollens are not syllogisms.
Toadie, I did say that, yes, you need, in order for you to gain any knowledge about anything, you are going to have to employ logic. Even through the identity of what you're talking about, all of those sort of things, the definitions, that's all logical. So you're going to have to do that. And if you say that there are other ways, let us know. What are these other ways of gaining knowledge that are not logical, Toadie?
And not cognito ergo sum, but cogito ergo sum. What? That's okay.
By the way, Rumpus is just blatantly lying. If nobody can see that Rumpus has got like the worst arguments ever, just blatantly stating untruths about people. That's it. That's all Rumpus has got, and it's pretty evident from the chat right now.
Yes, he's just rising the Rumpus. This is his name. Mr. Aventura.
Be an embarrassment, right? You know how ridiculous the globe can look when people like Rumpus are going around. We've been trying to point out to people, right, that you have to, on the globe, everybody knows 'tis globe, right? And on the globe, you're going to have to take on proofs within reality, which means you're going to have to logically derive some truths about reality. And there's no other way of getting there. Although Toadie seems to have conjured up some sort of magic somewhere that doesn't use logic.
And Toadie thinks, and I disagree. Everything doesn't have to be logical. We lived without logic for millennia. Logic is something, this is way how we know things. And so knowledge is in us. But without us, there is still world outside of us. So if things happen, like for example, sun is shining and plants are growing because sun is shining, so we have things that, for example, sun is causing plants to grow. So this causation in the world is, and this is logical. So we have antecedent and consequent. It doesn't matter if people on Earth, they are or they are not. If people would cease to exist on Earth, plants would be still growing because the sun is shining. So logic, I would say, is still there, but not in us. So I don't understand his argument that the things which are going in the world are illogical. No, they are logical. We just know that they are logical because we have logic to know that. But without us, that would be still logical. Things occurring in this world would be logical without us. For me, it is no problem.
Yeah, Toadie's saying he agrees that knowledge is how we know things. I'll do it because he can't come in. But we don't require logic. We lived believing God argued and made it thunder. I didn't live believing that, Toadie. So that we statement, I don't know. It doesn't. To me, in order for you to use words, they have to mean something. Otherwise, it's just gibberish, jabberwocky, nonsense.
He's contradicting, but we don't require logic. No, this is what I said, and we know that from at least from Aristotle. So over 2,000 years, that knowledge is proving. So we know thing because we have proved this thing. That's why we know that this thing is true, and this is not only our imagination. So, and of course we know this proof is because of logic. So you cannot say, for me it is just contradictory statement. Without logic, we don't know. We can guess, we can believe, but we don't know. That's the difference between belief, our imagination or guessing, and knowledge. So to have knowledge, we need proof. And for proof, we need logic. So without logic, we cannot know anything, in fact.
Yeah, it's all about the thing that happens in the mind, because that's where the proof belongs. The comprehension of the outside world to the mind. You're going to require logic for that.
Yeah. And within logic, we need to confirm, for example, our premises, if they are true or not. And we can say that our premise is true because we go along Aristotle's definition of truth. So this is agreement between what we see, so what we perceive from word, and what we think. If there is agreement with our thinking and seeing things, this is true. So that's why we call the thing is true, because we think about this thing in the same way as we see the thing.
Yeah, I think he's one of these people. I do genuinely think this, that he's when he says we don't need logic, he's talking about himself.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And he believes that he doesn't require logic to come to a knowledge of something. Which I think that's an education thing myself. People believe that they just need to look at the shadows for long enough. And then they require a knowledge of the shadows. I think that's where Toadie's coming from. He can't see the logic and how you use it to derive a knowledge. But I mean, it's just a guess.
Yes, but he says, I am a theist and pantheist. So it tells, to me, it tells everything. Because modern pantheists are just going with Kant, Immanuel Kant, and Hegel. So
you'll have to a bit of explanation, right? Because they're just two guys. Can you give us an essence of what it is that these two guys were philosophizing about? Like, what were their questions? What were they questioning?
So Kant was questioning experience and logical thinking in general, and Hegel was defining truth as compromise between thesis and antithesis. But in this context of being pantheist, because Hegel was also pantheist, so his theory of alienation. So because Hegel's God is pantheistic God, which is everywhere, and so
everywhere or every thing.
In every substance, it is a bit of God. So even so, it means that he is everywhere. It means that in every substance there is a God, substantially.
So you, being a substance, could also be.
Yeah, I am a God. Yes, or partially God.
Yeah, part of me.
Yeah. Right. So and his theory of alienation is Hegel's theory of alienation is that, of course, God is basically spiritual, and we are flesh. So God is unhappy when it is in flesh because flesh is imperfect. So
Toady agrees. Would you also agree then, Toady, that you could class yourself, because he's got God is in and is all things? So would you class yourself as being one of those all things that is God? Because you put a little G on it. You don't put a big G. I mean, I'm interested because, these are things that people, and I've never even heard of this before.
Yes, this is modern pantheism because, let's say, old school pantheism is slightly different, but generally now, and this pantheism, this new Hegelian pantheism is very, very dangerous because, as I was talking about this alienation, very few people know that this is the core of his philosophy or theology, let's say, that God wants to be alienated from matter. This is from communistic materialism is brought from.
Yeah, he's put that God is in an essence that is not flesh. And God is information, and so is upset at the separation.
Yes, he wants to be separated from flesh because he is imperfect. So God is perfecting himself in this theory by alienating from flesh. Generally speaking, to be not very
so how can it
boring,
be an all substance but not flesh substance? Is flesh not classed as substance, or is that a contradictory thing? I don't get it.
It is contradictory because you cannot be a thing and be all things. It is just nonsense. But nevertheless, this alienation thing is that, for example, depopulation or just killing all people. This is what God wants, because we will make God happy if we kill more and more.
Is that, are you sure?
Conclusion.
Is that Toady? Is that you?
I'm not sure if this Toady is.
Yeah.
But this is implication, and this is what Hegel is proposing. So maybe people thinking that they are pantheists and they don't know what they are getting into. Really. Seductive. Oh, okay. I wouldn't say that. For me, this is just a crazy guy and very, very dangerous.
It sounds a little bit. Everybody's going to make their own mind up about it. Obviously, Toady has come to his conclusions. Oh,
you are not
you're
into
wrong
killing
with your logical reading of Hegel. See, now, this is one of the things that I don't mind talking about, right, Toady? How are you to say that Paper's wrong? Because Hegel was just a guy who had ideas and questions and things. How can Paper get it wrong with his understanding of what Hegel wrote?
By the way, his thesis and antithesis, this is Hegelian. So, as I said before, 2 + 2 = 4. Someone says 2 + 2 = 6. So compromise would be 5. This is Hegelian, let's say, way to obtain truth via a battle between thesis and antithesis. And of course, he invented also evolution of truth, because from 4, now we are through the battle. We have 5, and then someone could say that it is 7, so in between would be 6, and for so on and so on. So that would be progression or evolution of truth. And this is also Hegelian, which of course is absurd, because then we are automatically losing truth as absolute thing. So in fact, I wouldn't say that Hegel was philosopher. He was just crazy guy.
Yeah. Wasn't it? He was one of the ones that went mad, right? There's quite a few of them. But like, there's more than you would think modern times within this philosophy. I don't know why they follow them. It normally ends up driving people mad.
Yes, I cannot see any benefit for the mind from that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's upside down, and that obviously leads to mental problems. Not the search for truth. It's trying to imagine something other than, or I don't know, or whether it's just that some minds are just twisted. And it's their trying to come to their realization. It's the people who employ nonsense as not as a method, just instinctual nonsense. People who've given up logic, it seems. Like Toady says, he can find truths and knowledge without the use of logic. Well, logic is how we make sense of the world. And anything that isn't sense is nonsense. Nonsense. It's not sense. So how can you make sense of nonsense? We'll be going over that in a bit as well, because we've got a nice little example. Let me get over this Nathan Oakley bit. I'm pretty sure there's not much longer left of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of it about. The same goes for Jeren, right? I think Jeren believes, for some reason, we don't know what the motivation is. We've all speculated, Bob's death being one of the highest speculated about thing. But nevertheless, whether the cause is as a result of a close friend of Jaren's and a colleague in some respect for me dying has any influence on him being a total shit to me in terms of claiming I'm a scammer and basically bad-mouthing me generally for absolute.
Is that Nathan Oakley? That's what he was doing to me, right? And now he's just praising me and now talking about the stuff that he said about Jaren as well. I'm not too sure. Nathan Oakley wants to become the victim.
Absolutely no reason. Or the reasons he's given have been taken to pieces and pulled apart, debunked as being legitimate reasons to claim someone's a scammer, namely science not proving things when that's all it does. But nevertheless, there's people out there that just don't like us. Now, I say me, it's nice to throw it out and have a panel to blame this and share this with. They hate all of you, not just me.
Well, I expect that because it is the whole group that is disliked. If they had to pick one person, it would be you.
Maybe, as the ringleader.
Yeah.
Or quantum eraser.
QE.
Yeah, exactly. As the fountain of knowledge, quantum eraser, or as...
I think we'd all agree with that, right? Nathan Oakley's saying that a lot of people dislike Nathan Oakley.
Yeah, because of his behavior. So.
Yeah, because of his shouty behaviour, how he calls people names, he attacks women, anybody who questions anything that they go on about, he gets really upset. And then he swaps and goes all like this, where he's, oh, everybody's always having a go at me, and that's enough of that anyway. But it's interesting that he said QE. Nathan and QE, who are the two figureheads of the flat Earth debate. We could put Discord back on right now. I don't want to take it away from what we were talking about, but what we've been going over here recently, I think, has an underlying case of the mind makes sense of things, right? And it's not used to attempting to comprehend nonsense. It can't make any sense out of it. So the mind attempts to make as much sense out of things as possible, right? We've got a few examples of this over the years as we've been going over it, but I'm going to play a clip for you. Right? This is a sound clip. You guys might be able to see it on the... So here we go. Listen to this.
Does time be visible?
Did you hear that?
Does time be physical?
Do you want to hear it again? Because perfect example. Here we go. Listen again.
Does time be visible?
Visible. He said visible or physical?
Yeah. Actually.
Wait.
Go on.
What did he say?
Go on, you want to hear it again?
What?
You want to hear it again? Everybody, what does he say?
Yeah. One more.
Okay.
One more time.
Does time be visible?
If you had to write it down, what would you...
I'm not sure if he said physical or visible. I'm not sure. I cannot recognize.
Right. So let's go with this statement.
I only seen the memes. This is the first time I heard it.
This is how the mind works, right? We've just said the mind can't comprehend nonsense. It needs to apply some sort of logic to it to make it make sense. Now, papers exactly explained there, right? that he can't make it out. It's either this or that. Now listen again.
Does time be visible?
He says both. Visible.
Yes,
But
something like
hang on, hang
visible.
on. No. But he says, does time. The start of the sentence is what kind of screws them up.
Okay, right. Well,
'Cause
this
time
is
doesn't do anything.
Right. Okay. This is where the statement, the mind cannot comprehend nonsense. So what's going on here is it's only 4 words, but the way they're put together, you can't make sense of it. There's no way you could ever make sense of it. First off, the words that he's saying, visible. What does that mean? Not really a word. But this is what Flatzoid has said in the middle of a debate. Right? So imagine you're in the middle of a debate and now we've just had to go over it 4 or 5 times. But you're in the middle of the debate and something like that comes up. You can choose to address it. You probably might not have heard it. You might have heard him say physical or visible because your mind did that for you. It filled in the blanks to helpfully make it make sense. Go on.
I was just gonna say, if we listen, like if we had that whole video and we listened to the 5 minutes prior to what just happened there, would we get a better understanding of what he might have been trying to say?
Your brain might have already been trying to comprehend nonsense and been painting you a picture
the 5 minutes prior,
that wasn't
the
said
prior
anyway,
5 minutes
right?
might have been nonsense.
Yeah. I can't say that.
I don't know.
All we can go off is what we've got here. But the lesson is this.
4 words.
Right? Okay. Now, I'll give you 3 of those words, right? Forgetting the one that we don't know, right? Is, does time be? Now, give me any word to place in that 4th word that could comprehend and make it make sense, right? Make sense out of this statement by adding 1 word. Does time be?
No. Should be is, because
true
grammar something.
It
should be is, not be. Why be?
Well, this is the point, right?
Well,
there is.
It can be true.
There is no word to place there. At least I say. There's no word that you could place there. Because it would seem ridiculous.
No, try true. Because true kind of works. Kind of works. Does time be true? Well, what is time?
It's nonsense. You're still trying to make some sense out of it. But
yeah. I was still trying to make
nonsense. There's nothing you can put there. So I think his brain, without him actually realizing it, helped him out by putting a nonsense word there, because there is no word that you could place there. And he's in the middle of a debate. His mind's probably in aporia somewhere. And he's just trying to come up with this rebuttal question. But you've obviously seen these from most people, right? The rebuttal questions have no relevance to what you've been talking about or anything. They've been placed in a position where they're in aporia, don't know what to say, and therefore come up with a rebuttal of some ridiculousness. Does time be visible? Again.
Does time be visible?
Some people you might even hear a V in the visible. Visible. And yeah, this is one of the representatives of the flat Earth. Is it any wonder that they get a little bit ridiculed, right? When you've got people like Flatsoid out there.
Does time be visible?
And where's the other one? We've got loads of these over it on the Level Discord. You can come. Oh, wait, we've got this.
Is Sean Hawkins joining also?
Is Sean Hawkins joining? He might be. We put a shout out the other day to give Sean a rebuttal chance. I think he did a video and he was saying that nobody was watching. Well, we've got 28 viewers, Sean. Come on in. That's 28 more people than were watching whenever you was trying to defend yourself against Flatsoid. We always stand with Sean. Although Emma said not behind him. And Emma might not want to be at the side of him either. But with him.
We have a song dedicated to Sean.
He's had the Polaris. That's what Betty kept trying to take it off him, make it into a circle. I wanted to check it out with him. Which was the other one? Which one was I looking for? This one. This is another statement.
I died once.
He did? Hear it again?
I died once.
Only once.
Just
Only
once. Just the once. Yep, just the once. I do believe it was just before he went in the Navy, apparently. He had a brain aneurysm. But he got better. Got better. No lasting problems whatsoever. Just before he went in the Navy. From his own mouth, he said that. That's I think that was one of those streams where it was one-upmanship and Fight the Flat Earth one, obviously. Nobody's died more times than Fight the Flat Earth. That's a fact.
When I get a phone call and then I miss 5 minutes of the show.
Oh, you missed all the good stuff. You'll have to go back and watch it tomorrow.
I'll go back. I was actually watching some of your Ark video game. That game looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Wish I had
come on. Oh, yeah. Have you not got a PC?
No.
You don't need to be £5,000 computers, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I have a PlayStation 4. I don't even have the new one yet.
Oh, yeah. It's
cheap.
PS5s, isn't it? If you get a PS5, I think
Yeah.
consoles are coming. And you'll be able to join us on the console. We do all the talking through Discord, so...
Yeah, I'm getting a Dr. Ho for Christmas, not a PlayStation. And I don't mean like a hoe. It's like an electric machine for my back. I got back problems. I've been seeing a chiropractor. But enough about me. We should play Sean's song for him.
to woo him in, do you reckon? I don't... He has rejoined the server. I think he goes by the most holiest or something like that. Let me check. I've been trying to get a word with Sean about his Polaris challenge for years. All glory to the Most High. I think that's what it's called now, isn't it? See, he's not over there. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Sean, if you're out there, pop on in. Come and have a chat. You know, Try and be nice to Emma, though. I mean, we don't like that Nathan Oakley type talk with women. They seem to have problems with women, don't they? We don't like having that sort of stuff in this Discord. So keep the misogyny. Is that? We don't really use that much for. Oh, I did get some other stuff as well. Let's see here. On the wrong chat. Here we go. Here's another one of the statements. Stefan Mudd. Does anybody want to take this one? They're having an argument. Well, I'd say an argument. It's not really much of a rebuttal. Much the same as you require logic to have any sort of knowledge. In order to do anything in reality, you require a Cartesian coordinate system to relate points together, positions of things. So they're having this discussion, and this is Stefan Mudd. This is his question. Anyone want to take it on? What is the problem using the sun's center as the center of the galactic coordinate system?
What's the problem with it?
Yeah,
that's the question.
What is
the problem?
Using the sun's center as the center of the galactic coordinate system. Remember, in rebuttal to a Cartesian coordinate system.
I would have a problem with that because I would not know where the center is.
But
so
would you still be thinking about a Cartesian coordinate system with the center as the center of the sun?
If you have starting point for 3 lines, let's say, perpendicular to each other, so that would be the 0 point.
Yeah, but this this is a rebuttal to the Cartesian coordinate system. Those 3 axes perpendicular to each other. This is a rebuttal to that.
Well, I don't understand in which way it is rebuttal.
Yeah, but I think that's maybe one of the problems, right? One of the problems is that you're still going to have to conceptualize a Cartesian coordinate system, except you don't know where your 0 points are. That would be one of the problems, I would say. And then where would you place yourself?
Yeah, so that would be, for me, difficult, because we cannot measure anything, because we don't have coordinate system placed. So
that's where the problem, the next one says, do you have a problem understanding how this is done? Well, I would say that if you're imagining the sun as the center, then you'd have to imagine the 0, 0, 0 point at the center of the sun. But you still formed a Cartesian coordinate system, but you can't orientate it anything other than saying this 0, 0, 0 is there.
Yeah, what would be the orientation of this 3 lines? In reference to what?
And when he says, do you have a problem understanding how this is done? It's like, well, yes, I do. Because even if you have one line, you can orientate one of the axis from where you are to this 0, 0, 0 point. That doesn't help you on any of the other axes. I really have a problem with it. I do. That's why I say Cartesian coordinate system. You're going to need logic to derive the Cartesian coordinate system through Euclidean geometry. And then you're going to need to orientate that about a 0, 0, 0 point. You're going to have to lock that in. Now, that's usually done by the mean sea level. Or one of the axes is sorted at that. Doesn't help you with the other ones, though, does it?
Yes, and by the way, if the sun is moving, so you have moving 0, 0, 0 point, doesn't help. I don't know. What would be the use? I still can't imagine that you can create in some model, but what would be the use of that? I don't know.
Oh, Beddy's been doing his logic thing again. What's that? Is that? Oh no, that's flat Earth math, isn't it? I think this one's Betty. See, he said one is provably false. That's the he says that proposition 1 of his is provably untrue. And I ask him, how has he proved that? Can you remember this? We went over it.
Yeah. So I would say that this second statement, you can disprove that, but you don't need other sentences to disprove. It means because if we have 3 sentences, supposedly we could make syllogism.
Yeah, a level surface is a horizontal plane. Light rays from the lights in the sky are parallel. The angle to any light in the sky changes as we move. So he's not actually set up a syllogism there. He's just give 3 random statements. And I asked him at the beginning, what have they got to do with each other? And he said, nothing really. They're just 3 propositions. So this is that nonsense thing. You're trying to place these things together for him. He's not actually made an argument, but he's asking you to pretend it is an argument. And how would you rebut it? And he's saying one of them has to be false. Why does one of them have to be false? He's not made an argument.
Yes, that's my point. So his statement, logically and geometrically, one of the propositions must be false. This statement is false. It doesn't follow. Because if you have 3 sentences, therefore, supposedly you can create 2 premises and conclusion. I cannot create any premises and conclusion from that statement. Because if he's talking about logic, it means that the falsity of one of these statements has to follow from two other.
Yeah, well, what he came up with today was, he said, he says 2 and 3 are provably true. Therefore, 1 is provably false. Look, well, 2 and 3 are provably true. Therefore, 1 is provably untrue. Because he stated one of them has to be false. If he can imagine 2 of the others as being provable, a parallel light from the lights in the sky, however ridiculous that must seem, right? All of the light from all of the lights in the sky for everyone are parallel.
Yes, this is false statement.
Well, it has to be true. Beddy says that's provably true.
Okay, so if he's saying that this
And
is
wait a
provably
minute, and he's using that as a way to disprove that level is horizontal, because he's put 3 statements at the beginning and said that one of them has to be false. I mean, is that sophistry or what?
Yes, and he is missing corollary because this statement, light rays from the lights in the sky are parallel, he said that it is proven to be true. So I am looking for his proof.
He just said it. He said it's provably true.
Yes, he just said it, but I want to see that proof for that statement. How he could prove that light rays from the lights in the sky are parallel. It has to be proven. I want to see that. Then, when he will show that they are parallel, which I know that they are not and they cannot be, then we can proceed. Before that, it is only a claim. He claims that this statement is true, but he needs proof for that. I would like to see that proof for the second statement. It is insufficient. What he's saying is insufficient. Sorry, this is not logic.
I think it's brilliant. He comes up with his statement. He says these 3 things, one of these has to be false. And I say, why? Can you just let us know why one of them has to be false? He completely avoids that and carries on with his few statements, and then ends up saying he can prove that level isn't horizontal because he can prove that all of the light from all of the lights in the sky travels parallel for everyone.
Yes, and this statement I can disprove easily. But even if he says that it is proven to be true, I cannot see a proof for that. He has to prove it, not saying that it is proven. The unicorns are not real because I said that I proved that unicorns exist. This is not a proof, this is claim. I need to prove that. And he is not doing that. Sorry, baby, you need to prove that the light from the lights in the sky are incoming parallel.
Even the lights under your feet must be coming in parallel too, right?
Yeah.
If all the lights from all of the lights in the skies are traveling parallel, then I can't even imagine it. It's a nonsense, right?
Yeah, because it means that they are traveling only in one direction. And we
everyone.
know that, yes, we know that they are going in every direction.
Yeah, they're coming to you.
Also,
as a point, right? You are the point that they're coming to. Parallel.
This part
Your
of
eye.
statement is not even true, because they are not parallel. They are close
Betty
to
says
parallel.
that he can prove it.
Yes, yes.
So he's got a proof that they are coming in parallel. The lights from all of the lights in the sky are all traveling parallel to your eye.
Yeah, this is what he's saying.
Provably true. But, you know, he's one of the top leading dogmaticians. And because we know that that's proved true by Betty, therefore, we can say that level isn't horizontal. Proved. He's one of their top guys. Imagine him and Bob together with the Modus Ponens.
I don't know. Maybe this is this new propositional logic. I don't know.
Look, he's got his last bit, right? I'm still wondering why you won't say which one. Like, I'm pretty sure we said that two of them are provably true and the other one obviously unprovable, right? Because only things that aren't true are unprovably true. So obviously that means that it's provably false. The lights in the sky travel in parallel. Like I think I'd said, it's easy to explain whenever you put a light in your room and you move. I mean, it's not traveling parallel. How could it be? It's mad. There becomes a point source where it's terrible.
Yeah, that's not just nonsense. But
yeah,
okay.
Because that's what we're preparing people for. So if you're still watching, still listening to this, Nathan Oakley and Brian's Logic and all of them have entered into a realm where we're talking about the conceptualization of a straight line. This is where it gets really tricky, because we're now going to the forms of how you gain knowledge in the most conceptual essence to it. And we're starting off with the elements of understanding the straight line. If you can't conceive of a straight line being the shortest distance between 2 points, a Euclidean understanding, logical understanding, then you're going to be out of the realms of conversation, I'm afraid. And it seems like there is a lot of people nowadays that are actively trying to not allow people to see how simple this all is. You've got, I call the agents of darkness or whatever, the Flat Earth Society, trying to obfuscate something that's an obvious truth in reality. It just doesn't prove the flat Earth. You can't prove flat Earth. You can prove the Earth is not flat. You can prove the Earth is not a ball also. I mean, there's no problem disproving things, but being able to gain a proof positive relies on you being able to understand logic. And it seems like, you know, Flat Earth Society are doing their best, particularly within this arena, right? I mean, I'm not too sure of people outside of this arena, how they'd comprehend all of this sort of stuff. They probably can't. They're better off living in ignorance, to be honest. Because all you get whenever you start questioning some of these contradictions that are inherent in modern day life is people like Rumpus, Blue Marble Science, Betty. Well, it depends where you are down the line. People like Ed Freeze, maybe, following you everywhere. On any social media or anything. But we're after the conversation. We can prove some things in reality, which goes against what a certain group of people say, that there is no proof within reality. It's a bit of a defeatist attitude, that. And you don't gain much from it. Just an understanding that you can know where you... At least you can know that you do know something. People want to take that away. Make it into nonsense. 2023, there is a lot of nonsense around. Being able to point at it and say, that's nonsense, should be a right of everyone. And then to have somebody try and explain it. And the problem with it is, whenever you spot nonsense and you say, go on then, explain it, you know they can't. It's nonsense. You can't express what nonsense is. So therefore you leave it vague, without definition. And leave other people to imagine that you're not talking nonsense and hope that they'll try and make sense of what you're saying. Well, the arena that we're in are a load of people who are model afflicted highly and obsessed with certain things that they can't drop. And they only speak nonsense. And everybody interprets their nonsense that they speak in their own way and treats them as shadow giants. Casting shadows on the walls that you just sort of make sense of however you can. And there's a lot of those shadow giants around. Flatzoid's trying to make himself as shadow giants within the flat earth community. Like, is the best you can have is to aspire to be one of them. And if that's you and you're in the flat earth community, then do you want to be the next Nathan Oakley? The next QE? Maybe you can go one better than Flatzoid. Maybe you could do a Ranty. Who else is there? Jared. Maybe you could do be like Jared. Be hosting things with Fight the Flat Earth, a convicted criminal. Violent. Or Brenda, it doesn't really matter. We're just after the conversations. So if anybody does want to come in, it's free for all Friday. Pop in if you got any topics. It's early, 10 o'clock. don't want to really talk too much nonsense, but I think it's going to get tough. Nathan Oakley's just noticed that the horizon's horizontal, and that's going to be tricky because the guys that have been obfuscating it towards us, because we've been doing this for like 4 years, those people are going to have to again attempt to do that with Nathan Oakley. So, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just going to let Nathan Oakley go around telling everybody that the horizon being horizontal is I don't know. It's pretty obvious that it is, though, isn't it? Makes you wonder why they didn't point that out like 4 years ago. The horizon had always been horizontal, hasn't it? It's not just changed recently. That's right, isn't it?
And next it'll be level is horizontal. I'm telling you.
Well, it's another known fact of reality. I mean, there's no need to admonish people for saying known facts in reality, right? You can do fuck all with an angle. Level is horizontal. Triangles have 180 degrees. What else? All horizontals are parallel to each other. The Earth's not flat.
Triangulation requires 3 angles.
Yeah, it requires a triangle, which is then able to be broken down into right angle triangles. Geometric facts.
But you still need 3 of them.
Yeah.
Not 1.
Yeah, these are all just basic facts of reality. Imagine when Nathan Oakley gets round to understanding that. And then imagine, right, whenever he hears about the horizontal plane, imagine what he's going to do when he finds out about realising Euclid test. He's going to go wild, isn't he? It's an actual proof of a straight line lying within a plane. Imagine that. That horizontal, that level being horizontal, a straight line lying within a plane is provable within reality. And the test's been done. It's fantastic. He's going to be a bit pissed off when he realises that elevation changes prove that the Earth's not flat. But we did tell him that a bit before again. But he's going to get carried away with the horizon being horizontal for a bit. And then the obfuscators are going to come in and tell him he doesn't understand what a straight line is. That in non-Euclidean geometry, straight lines can be different. And he's going to say, but we live in reality. And they're going to say, yeah, but in non-Euclidean geometry, a straight line can be conceived of differently. Backwards and forwards, all about a straight line. And really, what it's going to be about is logic. But unfortunately, Nathan Oakley can't employ logic because he'll be able to see then that the Earth isn't flat. And holding the Earth to be flat whilst understandably it's obviously not flat is a problem for the law of non-contradiction, which is a basic tenet within logic. You can't have an understanding of any sort of knowledge if you're willing to break one of the core tenets of the system that you're using to gain knowledge. Can't have contradictory facts at the conception of what you're talking about. I've always said it. Flat Earth goes into a losing battle the moment it steps in saying it's flat Earth. You've lost. That's the best Nathan Oakley can hope for. Has anybody got any more topics, or do I have to ramble again? Shout out Nathan Oakley. He is back with his PC and doing the work for the Flat Earth. But
I'm trying to get out of work early, so I'm trying not to talk too much.
okay, yeah, don't get shouted at, Rob.
Fuck you, Rob. Love you, buddy.
You're not helping me leave earlier.
The butt
Fucking turn up. I love you.
It's the butt end of the sphere. Do like a flat side. Sphere. Because this is all that's going to happen is, right? Can you imagine, right, that after all of this time, the flat earthers, the latest argument is the horizon's horizontal, right? You're gonna need a flat earth for that. Like, no. Horizon's always been horizontal. Like, you don't need a flat earth for the horizon to be horizontal.
Especially when we are talking about water.
Yeah. It's much needed though, right? For like, because everybody on this server, guaranteed, has been to Nathan Oakley first. I don't think anybody, maybe Saragaki, who came in because of T-shirt logic. So everybody else has always been through Nathan Oakley. That's where most people do. They hear Nathan Oakley, and people should do. Like, research Flat Earth. Go and see what they're like. Go and try and have a conversation with them, right? That's how you research this sort of stuff. And most people that are here because they're not too keen on Nathan Oakley. It's his methods.
I was a member of his channel for 3 years.
Yeah. You recognize what you learned from him, but after a while, like, you've got to move on. That shit gets old. There's nothing new, and you realize it's not a pleasant person. There's something, I don't know. I think he's possibly
I'll say one more
bipolar
thing.
or something.
I'll say one more thing. I'd probably still be a member if the Ballers still came onto his show and got wrecked, but they don't even go on his show anymore.
Well, no Globers want to come here either. No Flat Earthers want to come here. No Flat Earthers want to go to
I know.
Nathan's. Right? That's what you do. You
Different
alienate.
here.
You alienate yourselves within. Most of it with us is, the way we conduct ourselves and the questions that we ask. Yeah, I don't know whether bipolar's right. Might be different. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, But you could probably name a few traits that are a bit obvious. But like, yeah, he blows hot and cold for what? I don't know. I can only presume that Nathan Oakley sees, because he's had to swap his arguments over the last few years. Obviously the modus tollens that QE called the black swan, the fallacious argument, right? That we've tried to have conversations about, and he won't do it. He gets angry. To the sextant, which obviously that was a failure, but they got a good 2 years out of it. And 10th man still, still likes to put his bit in about how he can do things with an angle. But he does need other things, right? We've found that out. Even needing time as well. Can you imagine? That takes it out of the realm of geometry, right? It's not within proof. Time. Geometry and time. Not a proof-giving method. And I don't know what else. Now we're on to pointing out that the horizon's horizontal. After QE showed his pictures of, I don't know. QE said he's never called us in for a progress report like he used to. Look at his Betty. Why, Betty, please, why does one of the statements have to be false? You've not placed it within an argument in any way. They're just 3 statements. Why? Give us an explanation as to why one of them must be false.
And it has to follow from 2 others. So 2 other statements would show that the third is false. This is what it is said. Because if we are talking about logical consequence, it means that if we have 2 sentences to be true in any combination, the third one has to be false. This is what Baby said.
Yeah, can you remember his one about longitude as well, parallel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's made a few arguments, and he's never even given us his interpretation of the modus ponens of Bob. Whereas I called my argument, the one of horizontals being parallel, the argument, because I don't think you can make a more simpler argument to explain within this realm.
No. Baby says, take any 2 of the 3 statements. If true, then the other must be false. No, because yes, that's the problem. Because in order to that, because 3 sentences, it means the third sentence in any combination should be conclusion. So the first 2 has to be premises. Now you cannot make premises and make conclusion.
Yeah, he's quite cleverly. This is a sophist at work, trying to get you to formulate arguments that you're going to argue against. And all he's laid out is a few pieces on the floor. Like he's going, you do the work, you put it together, you come to the conclusion like I have. But you're scrying, Betty. Literally, you're throwing a few pieces on the floor. imagining that you see something that's not there.
And by the way, I can disprove a second statement without other two. So I don't need two other statements to disprove the second statement about light rays. So I can disprove light rays being parallel. I don't need two other. It doesn't matter if they exist or not. So the whole, let's say, logical statement is falling apart here.
What do you think of Bob's Modus Ponens, buddy? Is you? An aporetic triad. Oh, nicely done, Betty. You're just making
Betty's...
stuff up there now, aren't you?
Yeah, he's slightly late tonight. So we went through that. So eventually you will go through that. Maybe tomorrow. Because we went through that. Why light rays cannot be parallel. This is nonsensical statement.
Bob's Modus Ponens.
This is Bob the science guy, great debunker. So this is his new, my conspiratory theory. It maybe has something to do with Poland. I don't know, but it sounds like Polish version of Modus Ponens, maybe.
It's Globjic. It's some of the
something like that. Yeah,
some of the finest Globjic you've ever seen, Betty. We want you to peruse it. It says, if and only if the Earth is a sphere, P, then the shortest distance between any 2 points in any direction will be a great circle distance, Q. Modus Ponens is confirming Q, affirming P. The shortest distance between any 2 points on Earth is a great circle, affirming Q. Therefore, Earth is a sphere, affirming P.
Yeah,
it's affirmation all around. Yep. Yes.
Yes. This is called positive thinking. All right, but still, it is. Affirming the consequent.
Do you want me to get it for you? It was on a video that he did.
Yes, we went through that. But maybe
yeah, he's took it down now, though.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Luckily enough, though, we've got. So I'll get it for you.
Why would he do such a thing? Did we talk about that?
I don't know. Like Bob's one of these people. He's like Sean Hawkins, isn't he? Elusive. Won't come for a chat about anything. He did chat about when I called him a liar for his drop of the water level.
Right. Enigmatic.
Okay.
I'd say enigmatic. Like kind of like Betty. Enigmatic.
Right. Okay, Betty. Here you go. Listen to it. This is Bob out of his own mouth. This is how Modus Ponens works.
Let's go ahead and have a look at an example that I've been using a lot of lately. Here's my argument. If and only if the Earth is a sphere, P, the shortest distance between any 2 points in any direction will be a great circle distance. Q, the shortest distance between any 2 points on Earth is a great circle distance. Therefore, the Earth is a sphere. This is an example of a Modus Ponens argument. Now, the flat Earth could use a Modus Ponens argument to disprove this by demonstrating that the shortest distance between any 2 points on the surface of the Earth is a straight line. In other words, a non-great circle distance. So, their work is cut out for them. This is Bob the Science Guy signing out from Northern Michigan. Thank you again for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate your support.
There you go. So that's out of his own mouth there, Betty. Modus Ponens. He even says it. Everybody gets affirmed. That's the tagline. Affirmation all around. Confirmation and affirmation. As is the way. Everybody gets a little bit of it. You corrected Bob. You can't correct Bob, buddy. You're a nobody. It's Bob the science guy. Don't be going round telling lies about you correcting Bob. Like you're the big man. It's just the YouTube chat guy, Betty. It's the best you've got. Comments. Actually, that religifying the globe thing you did over at Betty's, well, that was good fun. I like that. But yeah, don't be telling us. If you corrected Bob, then how did we find that as a thing? Why is he still putting the videos out? He doesn't listen to you, Betty. You can't correct somebody that is obviously aware of the Modus Ponens. Did you not know about Modus Ponens?
I think Bob got that from Betty, quite honestly. And Betty's trying to cover his tush here.
Yeah.
That's what I suspect.
I think, yeah. Betty
Is that your Modus Ponens, Betty? I think so.
You tried to correct him? Correct him on what? I don't know.
Oh,
you can't
goodness.
correct Bob on a Modus Ponens. What's wrong with it, Betty?
I think that it was copyright strike from Poland.
Could be.
You have to let everybody know what's wrong with Bob's Modus Ponens, Betty. Doesn't want you to know about it. Oh, is he talking about his book? Somebody else has got him on a different topic. Modus Ponens. Do you want to hear it again? And then we might go for a Sean Hawkins thing. Listen to this. It's only 53 seconds long. I might put it out as a short.
Let's go ahead and have a look at an example that I've been using a lot of lately. Here's my argument. If and only if the Earth is a sphere, P, the shortest distance between any 2 points in any direction will be a great circle distance. Q, the shortest distance between any 2 points on Earth is a great circle distance. Therefore, the Earth is a sphere. This is an example of a Modus Ponens argument. Now, the flat Earth could use a Modus Ponens argument to disprove this by demonstrating that the shortest distance between any 2 points on the surface of the Earth is a straight line. In other words, a non-great circle distance. So, their work is cut out for them. This is Bob the Science Guy signing out from Northern Michigan. Thank you again for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate your support.
Imagine if the flat earthers knew that all they had to do was show that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Fascinating like that, isn't it? You just leave it there, right? It doesn't need much more to say. I mean, that's obviously a really tough thing to actually does Betty not want to comment on it? No, it's just that he, you know.
Or maybe he can put on YouTube chat his correction, formal correction.
Yeah.
Bob the Science Guy. That would be great.
No, he's too busy talking with the chat. He's being a proper chat skank, isn't he? Right? He's only chatting to the chat. He's not even chatting to us in the YouTube.
Oh, what's there to chat with us about?
Do you want Betty, or he has got to go to bed though, hasn't he? I need to nip to the toilet. So Buster, are we having a Sean Hawkins? It's a free for all Friday, or a Betty?
I stand with Sean.
Sean. Okie dokie. We'll try and woo Sean in, right? Think Sean Hawkins and see if we can bring him in here. Don't try and do logical shit. No. Let's just try and bring him in. Right, I'm
going to go to YouTube to listen. This better.
Okay, I'll be back in a bit.
I'm fucking pissed. I mean, there isn't a fucking scale on this goddamn planet that can measure how fucking pissed I am right the fuck now. Hey, so, yeah. I can't get any of these cowardly fucks to debate me. Unless someone can give me a good fucking reason to keep doing this, I'm fucking giving it up. I got better things to do with my time. Nobody ever cites my work. My Angles to Polaris video. Nobody ever cites that. It's not the best one in the world, but it's fucking something, with a physical model. And it gets a lot of compliments. So I know it's not complete shit. Nobody ever plays my videos on their live streams, or even little bits of it. When was the last time anybody shared any of my videos? My most popular video is the Angles to Polaris video, and it has less than 1,000 fucking views, and it's 2 years old. And I've got a shit community. Fucking not doing anything to fucking keep me doing it. Like I said, unless someone can give me a good fucking reason why I should keep streaming, I'm done. So, thanks for the fish. I'm so pissed off right now. I've got a shit community. Made me look like a fucking asshole. Motherfucker! Fucking asshole! Motherfucker! I'm so pissed off right now.
Your world is full of illusions, contradiction between fact and fiction.
Fucking talking shit!
You never back your claims.
Like a little cowardly bitch. Fucking talking shit!
Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
Motherfucker!
Unstoppable force on immovable feet.
You don't know how fucking pissed I am!
Straight lines converge in the distance.
Fucking asshole!
Why do I get so much resistance? I know.
Fucking talking
you
shit!
Never prove me wrong.
Right the fuck now! God damn it! Motherfucker!
Now we get our physics deniers. Pathologic compulsive lies. I know. You never prove me wrong.
You don't know how fucking pissed I am!
Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
I get fucking emasculated by Jose J.G. Gonzalez.
You swear knowledge and ignorance lead.
Fucking asshole! Motherfucker!
Paradoxes and confusion. Your mind is in delusion.
Fucking talking shit!
We all know you're insane.
Oh, God damn it!
I can't get one of these pussies after fucking talking shit to this motherfucker. I fucking still like him, but he fucking pissed me off. Motherfucker! Goddamn, he owes me a fucking apology.
Talk about your 2D surface. We all know you ain't got no purpose in life. We think that you live on board.
I get fucking emasculated.
Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
I get fucking emasculated by Jose J.G. Gonzalez.
It's where knowledge and ignorance meet.
Fucking talking shit, motherfucker!
Paradoxes and confusion. Your mind is in delusion.
Fucking talking shit!
We all know you're insane. We all know you're insane.
I get fucking emasculated by Jose J.G. Gonzalez, and I'm pretty fucking pissed off. That's all I've got to say about it. Motherfucker! Made me look like a fucking asshole!
And we're back. It wasn't that bad, Sean, but I mean, Jose did do that sort of stuff for a laugh, I think. He used to enjoy it. So, did he come in? Has he got any requested to come in on the Discord, has he? No live
Sean?
chat? No.
No.
Didn't seem to work. Come on in, Sean. Let us know about Flatsoid attacking you. He's like going after you really hard at the minute. But it must be tough.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah. I'm wondering whether Sean knows about this circle of the GP of Polaris. Sorry, Beddy's circle of the GP of Polaris. Because as well as avoiding questions about Modus Ponens being the top dogmatician for the Blue Marble scientists, Beddy's also come up with the circle of the GP of Polaris. And I'm pretty sure people aren't aware of it. Because I bet you thought that Polaris was like 90 degrees above a certain position, didn't you? Like a lot of people within this. 10th Man didn't bother telling us about it at all. Asking, yeah, what would be a great team to get Sean with the Polaris thing and Beddy with the logic, to get those two minds together. Can you imagine what greatness they could achieve? If only, hey, what dreams are made of.
They would produce not only syllogism, but a great syllogism.
And what with the rhetoric of Sean Hawkins and the mind of Beddy?
That would be great speech, I would say. Great narrative.
I hope we can get there one day. That level of greatness. But Sean, he's never graced us with his presence. No matter how much we tried to understand his Polaris challenge. And I couldn't understand why he wanted to go mountain biking in the Yorkshire Dales. He never was able to explain it. So, what about you guys in the chat? Have you got anybody heard anything interesting? I don't want to take up too much. It is Free for All Friday. Sean's Polaris challenge. He just told us to go and research it, and when you did, it's a mountain biking event in the Yorkshire countryside. Well, the hills, the dales. So we asked Sean to come in and explain it. He was unable to, but since Betty's informed us about the circle of the GP of Polaris, which, you know, I'll always thank Betty for bringing this to us, because it brings in all sorts of, well,
clarification.
Well, it's
more clear.
Yeah, it makes it more Euclidean, if you will, because, you know, like we had Jesse Kozlowski driving his car over a bridge to do surveying. Well, surely that area in between, within that circle, is where the GP of Polaris isn't. Right? Because the GP of Polaris must never get into the circle. So the circle of the GP of Polaris has a centre. Now, if you were to draw a line, like call it a diameter, all the way across that circle, would that centre lie on the circle of the GP of Polaris?
That should be a center, but that would be not a GP of Polaris, of course.
It's not, yeah. The center of the circle of the GP of Polaris is where the GP of Polaris never is. Interesting, that, isn't it?
Yeah, so it means that.
So 90 from
not that
the center
GP
would
of
not
Polaris.
be where Polaris is, no. Polaris would never be at 90. Or relative to time. It's hard to tell whether you'd actually put the center where you called 90, and therefore the Polaris would never be at 90, which I'm not too sure many people have said about. There he is, Bob, Mr. Modus Ponens. He got a video to teach him how to smile. That was him practicing. Bob practicing smiling.
Slightly scary, but okay. Let's say he's smiling.
Yeah, he's not very good at it. He did admit that, you know. That's why he was practicing.
Yeah, these big eyes, he looks rather scared than smiling. Okay.
He might have got better at it by now, you know, blending in.
Yeah, sure.
I'll put another shout out as well to say, if Bob wants to come and explain his modus ponens, maybe we could have the brilliance of Bob the science guy, Betty the logician, the globe logician, and obviously Sean Hawkins. What a trio. Could be the spherical trio. To make a killing. suppose that's a bit much, though. I don't think we could get Betty and Sean together.
Betty's side rule. I don't know why not.
Well, yeah, I suppose they all are.
Mm-hmm.
Same team. But the problem is, the more you get together, then the more chance there is that there may be somebody with a differing opinion. And that would then implement the side rule, putting people on. I think it's hard work for them to get together. I think we will perhaps witness to the last ever Great Globe meeting of when Rumpus, Flat Earth Math, Blue Marble Science, and whoever else was there. I can't even remember him. Sorry if you were there at that meeting and I didn't recognise you as being there, though. But I think that'll be the last time that they'll get together. Can't have too many dogmatic globers in, because they might have different dogma. Can't have that. Yeah, spot on's right. The largest point on the model is about 80 miles across. Maybe a little bit more. Sean, come on in. We've got promotional. He is doing a guitar. He's like a Gibson. Don't know whether he's going to bring out Sean Hawkins like Les Paul. So he's making guitars now. So is he a known musician, or is this a hidden talent that's just emerged? Getting quite good at doing those memes as well. It's pretty good. Little cutout for the face. I like it. Timothy, I don't know who you're talking to, because they're not really here. They don't like listening to this. You can see the numbers have dropped. That's because there's no Globers here. This is why people stopped watching Nathan Oakley. I don't want to seem like we're fighting anyone and, asking them to provide us with things. We're not after that. Just explanations, conversations. That's all we're after. Anything for the hawk. Yeah. We all stand with Sean here. You get people misrepresenting what you're talking about as well, Timothy. They don't know who you're talking to in the chat. Becomes a little bit difficult. Has anybody got anything else? We can't be. Are we done? Free for all Friday. It's looking a bit.
A bit bleak tonight, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we are going through a bit of a storm in the UK. People out for doing the bonfire night. Yeah, looks like we can go and play some Ark. There's not really much need for us to stay in here.
Nope, I'm already out looking for an Argent myself. So.
Oh, big one, female, 150.
Yeah, stay up looking.
I'm trying to go home early.
Well, if anybody does want to come in after show, whatever, coming over to the Discord, it's early free for all Friday. We can only do our best. Try and inform you of the nonsense that's around. We'll be trying to pick out some more. I'll put out some shorts, I think. Bob's Modus Ponens
don't be
needs
visible.
to be known about. People should be after it, right? There's a proof there.
I think so. That's why I don't know why Betty was poo-pooing it.
I
But
know. There's definitely a proof in the argument. Even like Bob said, even the flat
Yeah.
earthers can have a go at that, rebutting it. Learning
absolutely.
what a modus tollens is. Let me get it. Well, here's one for Betty. I know he's gone, but it's all relative. Pop in over the weekend if you want. If anybody wants to come in, I don't know whether we might start going live or whatever at the weekend. I might just start doing random live things, a bit like Dell.
Hey, random live's always good.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Pop
I'm
into
gonna hop over
Discord
to YouTube
whenever.
for this song.
Nobody wants to do any, final words or anything, do you? You're all right with that?
Yeah, next year they're going to be saying level is horizontal. That's my final thought.
Yeah. But
They being anybody in this topic.
You're going to need logic for that. And a Cartesian coordinate system. Probably a dash of Euclidean logic for proof. See you sometime over the weekend, maybe, or maybe Monday. Model affliction. Don't let it ruin your life. Don't worry about it. Pop in for a chat.
And today we are discussing, is it rational to believe that level is horizontal and believe that the Earth is a globe? So, good morning, welcome. Today we have, discussing this topic, we have Bebby. He has a PhD and a qualification in theology. He used to be a teacher. He is a published writer and is on his third book, which tackles rationality and so forth.
I'm thinking we can leave it here because we have a definition of level as meaning. It's very meaning is a level plane, a level surface is a horizontal surface. So it's entirely rational. In fact, it would be irrational to disbelieve that level was horizontal under that definition. We have the proposition the Earth is a globe, which you said means global. The Earth is global. The Earth is the Earth, which is also under that meaning rational to believe. It's analytically true under that definition. So we're all agreed. I can go, yeah? There's something intermediate between the Earth as a globe and level as horizontal. And that's the question of whether all verticals are parallel. The question is, are all verticals parallel? Is that implied by the proposition all level surfaces are horizontal surfaces? In fact, simplified, is it rational to believe that the Earth is a globe, i.e. spherical, and believe that all verticals are parallel? Yeah, our house, we recently had some plans produced, but they in no way match the actual shape of the house because it's 200 years old. And there are no level and no perpendicular sort of parts of our house at all.
You don't understand.
All verticals are parallel.
You don't understand.
All verticals are parallel.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
There's also a connection between the common belief that the Earth is a globe, i.e. the Earth is a sphere, and the belief about verticals. Because if you look, anyone who looks at a globe, i.e. something that represents the spherical shape of the Earth, must surely be recognizing that a vertical in one place cannot be parallel to a vertical in another place. So, excuse me. The question is it rational to believe the first two propositions we talked about, level is horizontal and the Earth is spherical, and also believe that all verticals are parallel? All perpendiculars to that plane will be parallel to one another, from which it logically and geometrically follows that the plane from which it logically and geometrically follows all verticals are parallel.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
I said it was irrational to believe both. That is all. It is irrational to believe that the Earth is a globe, i.e. spherical in shape or approximately spherical. I've said this about the 5th time. And to believe that level is horizontal.
I would agree with that, yes. It is irrational.
So if you believe that level is horizontal and you're a rational being, you'll disbelieve that the Earth is spherical in shape, correct?
What if you could prove that level is horizontal?
If you can prove that level is horizontal,
yes,
then you can prove that the Earth is not a globe, or is not spherical in shape.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to get to. And if you can prove that the Earth, contrary-wise, you can prove that the Earth is a globe, you can prove that level is not horizontal. From which it logically and geometrically follows all verticals are parallel.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
That the Earth is spherical. I.e. it cannot both be true that level is horizontal and that the Earth is spherical in shape. That was all I wanted to establish, that those two propositions are not consistent with each other. They cannot both be true. They cannot both be true.
You're just on your own. No reason, no logic, no answers to questions.
They cannot both be true.
You're just on your own.
Yeah, so
it can't be done. No one can model it. I will pay money if someone actually successfully models this in CAD with a ball and the two Lagos above it that matches the elevation profiles that have been given by Lago.
But for those people that have level being horizontal and they live on the globe, like in reality, those people like me that have a reality globe and level is horizontal, are you saying that I'm irrational? Because I don't consider myself as being irrational.
no, did I say you were irrational? I just said that it was irrational to believe both of those propositions could be both true at the same time.
Yeah, that's
That's
why
all.
I don't sphericalize my reality. I don't see a need to.
Yeah, I don't. There's probably no point continuing because we are totally agreed on this. And with Mike, I hope that those two propositions, that level is horizontal and that the Earth is a globe, i.e. spherical in shape, those propositions can't both be true. One of them has to be true. If one is true, the other is false. And if the other is true, the one is false. That's all. That's all I wanted to talk about.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, we are agreed. Equipotential means vertical everywhere.
Yes.
And you then have the question of whether all such verticals are parallel to one another or not. That's the question. And then you have to reconcile that to the proposition the Earth is a globe.
Are all the perpendiculars to a horizontal line? Are they parallel?
All perpendiculars to a horizontal line, i.e. a horizontal plane surface, yes, are parallel. The question
Now,
is whether
are all of the right angles to an equipotential surface, are they all parallel?
Well, that's the question. That is precisely the question.
You don't understand.
surface means. Of whether equipotential surface means horizontal.
It's not my problem.
Why, you got it.
Don't wanna learn. You're just on your own.
Of whether equipotential surface means horizontal surface. Why, you've got it. Let's tidy that up. Equipotential surface is one where every point, every perpendicular to that surface at that point is a vertical, right? That does not necessarily imply that all verticals are parallel, does it? But, let me finish here. If you believe that the Earth is a globe, you have a conception of vertical at any point on that globe, that sphere, then you cannot believe that all verticals are parallel. Anyone who believes that the Earth is a globe, a sphere, must believe that no verticals are parallel at all. No verticals are parallel at all.
You don't understand.
No verticals are parallel at all.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
Dogmatically. Yeah, I don't understand that, but let's not go there.
Well, because everything that you know about it is dogmatic, right? That's why we call it the dogmatic globe. You don't actually have any proof. And the dogmatic globe is the one that's telling you that it's not rational to believe that level is horizontal. Depends on which side of the thing you are. Is it rational to believe that level's horizontal?
Is it rational to believe that all verticals are parallel?
Yeah. I bet if you went out there and asked 99% of the people, they'd say, yeah, of course not.
All verticals are parallel?
Yeah. Why do you think it's not rational to believe that all verticals are parallel?
But then how can they hold that thought in their minds with the thought that the parallel, they're looking at a model of the globe.
It's not my problem if you don't want to
I don't think that they do. They don't relate it to reality, do they?
Don't interrupt. Let me finish. They are looking at globe model.
No reason, no logic, no wisdom, no
Let me finish. They are looking at globe model.
You're just on your own. No reason, no logic, no answers to questions. You're just on your own.
They are looking at globe model.
That vertical lines in a vertical plane are perpendicular to a horizontal plane and thus parallel to each other.
Correct.